Last night we were treated to a truly remarkable match at the Marshall Arena in Milton Keynes. Despite equalling Stephen Maguire's record of 6 centuries in a best-of-17 frame match, Shaun Murphy was still beaten in a final frame decider against Mark Allen. The former Masters champion opened up with a fluked red in the decider, but he followed that up with a hard-fought break of 62 to seal victory and set up a semi-final showdown with Mark Selby tomorrow. We're hopeful that our live match today will be just as entertaining as world champion Judd Trump takes on Stephen Maguire for a place in Friday's best-of-19 frame final. They've already faced each other at the semi-final stage of a Coral Series event this season. That was back in February at the Players' Championship. Trump came out on top in a tense final frame decider before going on to lift the title. This afternoon we are joined by Neil Foulds and Al McManus, and what a match we had last night. The first this week so far to go the distance. Mark Allen into tomorrow's semi-final against Mark Selby. And we have our first semi-final today featuring the runaway star of the season, Judd Trump, and Stephen Maguire, who was called in late to this tournament in the absence of Ding Junhui. Neil, both exciting players. This could be quite special, couldn't it?
Very interesting match, I think, especially so the way Maguire played. I mean, no one really knew how he would play. There was a suspicion that he hadn't practiced and he had a new cue, which is not a good combination. The fact is he played as well as anyone has played all season and as well as he's ever played. Now, obviously, Judd Trump has got the issue that he's got to kind of carry on where he left off. Irresistible form when he won in Gibraltar, 6 ranking events. After a layoff, that's going to be tough. So I think on the basis of what I've seen this week, I just about favour Maguire. I mean, I'd be interested to see if Alan Angles feels the same way about it.
Yeah, very interesting one, I think. I think it's important for Stephen Maguire to put the performance of 4 days ago, put that to bed and start with a clean slate today. It's difficult to follow up a performance like that with another one. So that'll be interesting. I think Judd got slowly better in his match against John a few days ago, so it's all set up. But my excuse me, my feeling is that Stephen has a real big chance. I think that would be the general feeling amongst punters and us guys, but we'll see.
We will indeed. As we continue our build-up, Rob Walker caught up with David Hendon earlier to look ahead to this semi-final.
Well, it's no exaggeration to say that everybody here in Milton Keynes cannot wait for this match to start. Dave, let's begin with Judd Trump. He's now just 2 wins away from turning 6 of the best into a magnificent 7 ranking titles in a single season. But surely he's got to be better than he was against Higgins.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? You know, he's made 98 centuries this season, but only 1 in this tournament. We've seen all the other big breaks flying in. We might have expected some from him, but in a way it's a tribute to the way he's become such a great all-round player that he's won a match not necessarily at his best. He's still here, and of course he can improve.
Stephen Maguire was sensational value for those 6 centuries against Neil Robertson with a new cue. But I think if we focus on that alone, maybe we're doing him a disservice. I think it's been the best season of his career. He's won the 6 Reds, the World Cup, UK final. He's up for this. Definitely,
and you know, he's very self-deprecating. I saw your interview with him. He likes to talk himself down. He said it was a fluke. Of course it wasn't. All those breaks just show how good he is. He's a fighter, Steve Maguire. Shouldn't have been in the tournament, so it's a great motivation. He could come away, of course, not only with the top prize, but also with the Coral bonus.
Well, we are all teed up for a magnificent afternoon, and one thing's for certain. If Maguire's in the mood, this could be monumental.
Never known to underplay the match. Rob Walker there. Alan, before we look at how the players might approach this one, let's be honest, Stephen Maguire's not going to be lost for motivation after hearing some of Judd Trump's comments suggesting he's underachieved, maybe he hasn't worked hard enough, isn't mentally strong enough. How do you think Stephen will react to that?
Well, I don't know, first of all, if Stephen's aware of it, you know, with the kind of lockdown at the venue. He probably will be, but it might just give him that little sort of extra motivation today. You know, he lost in the Players' Championship, wasn't it, a few months back, narrowly to Judd, and he should have beaten him. So that might just give him that little edge today. I think there'll be a little eye of the tiger in Stephen Maguire. But interesting comments. I don't think there was any malice in it from Judd. Everyone, you know, you don't really know each other, really, the other players on tour. But if that's his feeling, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, Neil, it happens all the time, though, in snooker, doesn't it? There's a little bit of needle can creep in occasionally.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a lot worse than what Judd said. I mean, you know, the sort of stuff that Alex Siggins said to Dennis Taylor, and, you know, even Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry had some words years ago. You didn't want to mess around with Hendry because he would beat you if you said anything bad about him. He probably beat you anyway. But as far as what he said, maybe there's a little bit of himself in there, you know, because for a long time Judd has been something of an underachiever. And it's only in the last 18 months he's fulfilled it. So if he thinks that about Maguire, maybe he saw himself in that. But I don't think there's all that much in that. I'm just looking forward to the match myself.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll do their talking on the table, absolutely, when we return. We'll get the action underway. Judd Trump goes up against Stephen Maguire for a place in the final of the Tour Championship in Milton Keynes.